What's going on, champions? Hey, we're back again with the Wild Wild Metaverse show. And right now, I'm here with my co host, Abder.
What's going on, Izu?
Hey, I'm doing good, brother. And today we're talking about, this whole Snoop Dogg, Snoop land, and this is crazy. The craziest stuff going on right now. The land grab and the massive explosion in price of land in the metaverse. So we're talking about no other person but Snoop Dogg today. But before we dive in, just real quick, we're just two normal guys, average guys hanging out on the internet, bringing you guys the latest stories, the updates, and useful tips, helpful tips that you really got to put to work, put to action when it comes to the metaverse. So if you really want to stay locked in on what's happening in this space and take advantage of the big wave that's going on right now and the future of the metaverse, you got to stay tapped in, locked in with this channel. And if you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. And also give this video a thumbs up to help other people catch this information quicker and also to help you stay on top of things. Okay, so again, like I mentioned, we're talking about Snoop Dogg and how he's taking over the metaverse. Right now, we've got the latest updates, and Abder is gonna get into the details. It's gonna share the facts and break it down for those of you who have not heard. So if you have not heard, by the end of this show, you're gonna know the full details. It's gonna be unpacked. So take it away, bro.
Yes, sir. So I'm very excited because Snoop Dogg, he's been making a lot of headlines in the real world recently, right? I mean, just he's all over the place. I mean, he was in Dubai. He's all over the world, right? I think he's visited every country in this planet. So what is the obvious thing to do next, right? Move on to a whole different planet, a whole different world, and that's what he did. Right?
That's right.
So now our boy Calvin Broadus Jr., right, a.k.a. Cozomo de Medici. Did you know that? This
man, I didn't even know he went by that name. Man.
Right? It's not that he has enough nicknames. I mean, Snoop Dogg is already a nickname, right?
Bro, I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. What?
He did it again, right? He did it again.
Uh-huh.
He decided to actually take his talents and his money to the metaverse because he sees that there's potential in this new world. And as you can see here, somebody paid $450,000 to be Snoop Dogg's metaverse neighbor.
Whew. I mean, let's be real. This is mind blowing. Like $450K to be Snoop's neighbor in the metaverse, man. Hey,
check this out. I don't know what's crazier. It's that somebody paid $450,000 to be his neighbor, or that Snoop Dogg made $450,000 to have somebody neighbors with him on the metaverse. I mean, which is I don't know.
Hey, we gotta get into these details, man.
Yeah.
Like, tell us about this Snoopverse, man. What's so special about this stuff?
Let me give you some background, right?
Okay.
So this man started his journey way early on this year, right? He started actually collecting NFTs back in March, and some of those NFTs were representing marijuana NFTs. Some of them were CryptoPunks. He bought 9 CryptoPunks. That by itself is over millions and millions of dollars, And overall, to this day, he owns 250 total NFTs. In addition to Metaverse Land, which is, well, guess what it's called? Can you guess what it's called?
Oh, Snoop Kingdom. Snoopverse.
Yeah. Right? I mean,
holy cow.
He's killing it. I think he's killing it. I think he made a good move, right? Look at the land he owns compared to the others in that space.
Yeah, right? Man. He's got all this space right here, man. Look, I mean, he's definitely killing it, man. No doubt about that.
Yeah. And so now let's talk about the neighbor, right? Let's talk about this mystery neighbor, right? I think, if I were to talk to our listeners here, if you've missed out on hanging out with Snoop Dogg in real life, right? because either you
Snoop
were too young
Lion.
or maybe you never got into the A-list. I never did. I tried, right? I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I
Hey
tried.
man, I didn't even want to go there, man. But hey, I never
Right.
tried because I didn't
Hey,
even. I mean, it's
right. But
crazy.
but this is your chance. This is my chance. This is your chance. This is the people that are listening to this show. This is their chance to get in, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a whole new life, and when we talk about a whole new life, it's a whole new opportunity, right?
So yeah. I mean, so for the viewers right now, for the average person out there that's trying to hop in, what does it take to be Snoop's neighbor, like, or even to even get access to even see this property we're talking about right now?
Honestly, it's within reach to everybody, right? I mean, the actual drop happened early in December, right? And there's people that are buying them up, but it's never too late, right? So just because you missed that first wave of people that buy land doesn't mean you cannot rebuy, buy it on the secondary market, for example. Just like in real life, right? I
Yeah.
missed out on many lands, many houses that were brand new, right? And they're back on the market. Yeah, they're
Uh huh.
50% more expensive, obviously, right? But they're on the
Of
market,
course.
right? And that's the whole game. The name of the game is buy now, sell later, right? So to answer your question, anybody can go into Sandbox environments. They can have a wallet, and they can actually put money in that wallet, and then they go and purchase the land on Sandbox using the money in their wallet, just like in a normal world. But you don't need any credit rating. You don't need any of that. Right? That's the this is kind of like the unregulated world. That's what the blockchain is,
Man,
right?
no credit checks, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. You don't have to go paying all those credit card bills just to get
You
a
just
high
got to
ticket.
pull up with the bag, right? Just come up with a briefcase.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just a briefcase.
Man, this is nuts. So how much did Snoop purchase this land? Like, is it in the thousands? Is it in the millions? Is it in the hundreds? Like, yeah, what's the tag? I mean, what's this going for, right? I mean, what was the purchase price from Sandbox?
Well, honestly, don't think about it this way, Izu. Don't think about it this way, right? Don't think about how much it costs him to build the land. Think about how many years this man had to put in to build a name for himself, right? So
Uh
that others get an opportunity to be neighbors with him, right?
huh.
That's the true question. So somebody values a piece of land right next to Snoop Dogg's
Man,
house in the
that's
metaverse for 450,000.
that is nuts, man. Like, I mean, this story, that's crazy.
But you know what though? But did you realize that not only do you get to get a land next to him, you also get a chance to virtually hang out with him and his people. You get to attend his exclusive
Facts.
concerts, right? So I mean, really, right now Snoop Dogg doesn't really perform as much, right?
Uh huh.
But in the metaverse, you get to get some concerts that you would never see in real life. So if you like exclusivity, right? Aside from land and appreciation and making money by selling the land, right? If you like just exclusivity to attend a big artist, right? To go to their house, hang out by their pool, right? Uh, this is a good opportunity. I'm sorry, I can't do it in real
Yo,
life.
this
So
this is huge. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I mean, you basically, you this just sounds to me like the whole metaverse and the whole Snoopverse, as we kind of have been hearing about, just sounds like a playground for the rich folks, right? It almost sounds like an average guy cannot. I mean, for you to, I mean, doesn't he have a tour? I mean, how much does it cost to go on a tour? Like a few $100s or thousands?
2000s, yeah, two
Dang.
thousand dollars, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because last I saw it was around $2,500 to
Yep.
even tour the space. Like, I mean, that's a lot of money. But the fact here is, when you take a look at the map, like, you just taking a look at this map real quick, like, you can kind of see that people have been buying up the space, and some big names, Atari, you've got people, and Snoop has got a lot of space there. But to your point, to what from what you were saying, exclusivity, right? And that whole connection that you get in the virtual space. Like this clearly is the wave. And the average person who's watching this right now, or, you know, if you are out there watching this video, you might be asking yourself, like, what exactly do I get when I get to play in this space? And what is the value that Snoop gets out of this? But the truth be told, someone just paid almost $500,000 to be his neighbor. And guess what? The person who purchased that land, it might feel like a waste of money right now when you think about it, but think about it in a few years, right? This person could basically flip this land for even millions of dollars.
That's right.
Based on the demand. Right. And that's the thing no one is talking about right now. But that's what you guys got to understand, right? It's the early movers advantage. So speak about the early movers advantage a little bit, just for people who are not aware of the space.
That's a great way to describe it. First mover advantage, right? Now let me bring it back down to reality, to our life, right? Where we are today on soil, right? We feel the soil, we smell the air, but let's think about historically speaking, right? The Rockefellers, right? All these different big families. How did they get to where they are, right? They had to take risks in the beginning, right? People in the gold rush that moved to California in the beginning. Those are the people in these billion-dollar homes, right? Not billion, but million-dollar homes.
True.
On the water, right? And now we got people like me and you driving around and saying, look, if I had come here, right, 100 years ago, or whatever, right, to the wild, wild west, right, I would have been a rich man. Now put yourself in the wild, wild metaverse, right? No pun intended. Put yourself in this world, and we are at a prime time stage to be the next Rockefellers, right? Is that generational wealth where if you got a couple of G's, right, and you want to just risk it, right? You put your money in there, right? And then you flip, and then you flip, just like flipping homes, you flip land. Or if you're smart, you buy them up, you buy as much as you can, and you wait, and you sit on it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's a very good point, because the whole buy and sit on it, it almost sounds like people who bought who bought property on Fifth Avenue, you know, New York, Fifth Avenue, New York, like way back in the, I don't know, 19th century, whenever that was. I don't know, but however long ago, right? And then thinking about the ocean front, it's like owning land in Sandbox or the other platforms like the Central Land, right? Where people can purchase land these days in the metaverse. It's almost like, you know, you purchasing an oceanfront. Like they don't make any more oceanfront properties.
That's right.
So it's almost like finite. It is finite, right? There's just a few. That's why properties in Miami oceanfront, or you know, you're out in California, you know, somewhere out there, you know, properties on the oceanfront can command a whole lot of, you know, value or dollar when it comes to the resale, depending on the market too. But you know, there's just not enough of them.
But let me clarify something though, right?
Okay.
In this world, we also know there's places that promise you great returns. They promise you appreciation, and then 30 years down the line, your house is the only house in the block. Nobody's coming there because there's a landfill or like some smell or something bad happening in the background, right? In the backyard, right? We all know that one person that got suckered into it. So there's always gonna be a sucker born every minute. So
absolutely,
you got to think about that also in the metaverse. And how do you do that, right? That goes back to knowledge. That goes back to talking to people that see, that read news, that read articles, that understand the metaverse world, right? And consulting with them and saying, look, can you explain to me what this is, right? And that's kind of what me and you obviously are trying to do here. We're trying to give people insight into what two normal people see about the metaverse and the opportunity. That's all we're trying to do, right?
Exactly.
So, with that in mind, if you were to ask me, hey Abder, if in the real world, where do you go invest to property or for invest in land? I would tell you, I'll go invest where there's some certain people that are trustworthy in it, right? There's some guarantee. There's something there that makes me easy about it. Why? Because I've seen big people that are credible in it. right? So if our listeners say, look, Atari is credible, right? Snoop Dogg is credible. A few other people are credible, right? Like we see here, right? Or maybe in this Decentraland. If they believe in those people, they gotta get in. And then there's the risk takers, or the other people, right? So there's the people that say, look, I go where there's a lot of activity. By the time you see there's a lot of activity, it's too late, right? Let's keep that in mind. So if you talk about the other people, though, the risk takers, they're the ones that say, look, I may not be fully easy with this idea, but I'm going to put in some money that I can play with, right? And I'll observe it over time, right? And as things appreciate, I'll add more. And obviously, Bitcoin is the best example of that. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear you on that. I mean, it's while you're clearly not giving people financial advice or investment advice, I still kind of feel you when you mention the early movers. Everything you explain right now is that first movers advantage, right? Yep. So people, I mean, we don't know. That's my thing here. I have that little bit of doubt where I'm like, okay, what if this is just, a bubble? We've got all these, famous people and corporations. Again, when institutions move in, it's a whole different game, right? Yeah. But we've got individuals like Snoop, taking the lead, being pioneers in this space. And I'm thinking to myself, is this just a fad? Is this something that will fade? Or, should you be doing it at your own risk? Just for people who are watching this right now, I'm not saying take, the money you need to pay your bills and plop in this. And that's not what you're saying. But it's just, hey, just like Bitcoin, I mean, back in the day, no one knew it was going to, people were buying pizza with Bitcoin, right? Two Bitcoins for a pizza or something like that for a slice of, I don't know, but you get the gist, right? So the point is, people got to really understand what's happening around you. The world is changing, and it's changing faster than you know it. And when you've got corporations, when you've got individuals like Snoop Dogg, and you've got all these bigger corporations and, big name developers too, who are moving into this space, you got to be paying attention. Right. So that's just my thing. Now, if you, like you've mentioned, if you've got money to risk and you've got a little bit of cheese that you want to just, put out there. Yeah. But you got to have a high conviction in what you're putting your money in. And the goal of this channel, what we're doing here is just to, bring you enough information, bring you enough, details and stories and facts that will help you make informed decisions. But you got to make the decisions for yourself, right? No one is going to make it for you, But remember,
I'm sure not making it for anybody. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of not making that for people, what will be your biggest? Like I asked before, do you think this is a playground for the rich, or can the average guy get into this space? Like, with this whole Snoopverse, getting access to all this stuff. What do you have on the average person, playing in this pond?
Just like the Wild Wild West, I'm gonna keep mentioning that because this metaverse is so fresh. It's an open playground. Because it's open playground, you can still play in it. All right, you can still play in it. You can actually, if you don't have enough money, but you really have a high conviction, talk to some buddies of yours, right? Talk to some friends or some family members, and put some money together and build that generational wealth. If you feel like this is the best way to go, right? I mean, you got stocks. You got cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these different things. And then obviously you got the metaverse now. You just have another way to diversify your money, right?
Got you.
It's not, and we don't make any money, obviously. Snoop Dogg's not going to call me and say, Andrew, I'm going to give you $1 million here for talking about the land, right? But I think it's a valid question, right? Like, and there's ways around it, right? And we can talk about those. We can talk to our listeners if they're interested. We can definitely talk them through some ways that we see, right? That based on what we know.
There you go. Hey, you got to stay posted. Like I say, you got to stay locked in with this channel, because we're going to be bringing you more insights, valuable tips, more videos when it comes to this whole space. A lot of people are confused. People just throw around the word the metaverse. They don't even understand what the metaverse is. Facebook just made the whole thing, blow up, with that announcement from Mark Zuckerberg. But the fact still remains that We're going to be bringing you helpful information, useful information, valuable content that will help you really understand this space and actually understand what's going on and how that impacts your pocket and how to, play in this space in a way that really makes you feel like, okay, you know what, I can do this. I got this, so that's really what we're doing. So any quick takeaways? I think we're right in the final minute here. I just want to, any quick takeaways for the folks?
Yeah, this is something that I've been thinking about, which is all this makes me wonder, right? Especially with singers and performers. Is this the new way to get VIP status instead of, tipping the bouncer or becoming friends with a promoter, right? To get into the hottest party in LA, right?
Yeah.
This exclusivity now is no longer just for the people that know how to suck up or rub elbows. It's also for the people that truly believed in an artist from the very beginning by investing in their metaverse or investing in their NFTs, right? Now artists, I think, are going to see this as a great opportunity to see who truly is a fan, who truly cares about hanging out with them, and who truly just cares about, eating off their food and just whatever, right? And not really benefiting anything. So it's another great avenue for artists to also make money. So I think it's a win-win situation. So I'm excited to see how this develops.
Got you, man. That was powerful right there, man. And I'm gonna leave the people with this, just something that you can sleep and breathe on, right? This is something that's happening right now. According to Fortune, companies are opening up digital headquarters in the metaverse where employees can return to work. So this is gonna happen anytime from now. Corporations are moving in. So again, I'm just gonna leave you guys with that.
That means we're all going to get to work in our pajamas for the rest of our lives.
Hey, I'm looking forward to that, right? That's what we are all looking forward to. But hey, guys, I mean, it's been real. It's been real. Just like, we're talking about it right now. It all sounds like fun, but it's not funny when it becomes real. Like when this is the real thing, when you have to sit in your PJs and, you just, exploring and interacting and working in this whole metaverse, and people like Snoop are taking advantage. And again, we're gonna keep covering all the details that you deserve to know about in this space. So if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button now. And if you have not given this video a thumbs up, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit that thumbs up button. It's been real, guys. It's all nothing but love, and we're gonna see you guys in the next video. And hey, any quick shout out before we get out of here to the people?
Shout out to all the people that believe, in greater opportunities and being millionaires in the future. But be careful, do your research before you make any moves.
Wonderful, guys. Hey, keep winning. We love you guys. See you in the next video.
Peace.
Peace.